brief introduction of what Britzone is, and so on and so forth. So let me share my screen. Alrighty, I hope everyone can see. All right. So, well, welcome to Britzone. We are the largest free English community in Indonesia with 30k plus followers, I believe, on Instagram. We are actually working in English education, meaning that we conduct classes every week, and it's totally free and open platform for everyone of any age. And also, this community is purely based on volunteerism. And our framework for growth is for this year is let's think, let's talk, and let's transform. What this means is we want to engage with new knowledge and also diverse perspectives. And also, we encourage everyone to actively participate in every session to build their speaking confidence. And last but not least, of course, to apply your learning to achieve personal and professional growth. And for our classes, we have quite a few. We have Tuesday, we have Thursday, Saturday, special class, as well as our Discord sessions. So for Tuesdays, it can be online and offline. Every Tuesday, obviously, at 7 p.m. And Thursday is the same, every Thursday at 7 p.m. For Saturday, it's usually offline at 11 a.m. And for special class, it's a customized session once a month. So something that is outside of these three classes. And we also have Discord classes or Discord sessions every Sunday at 7:30, which is what we're doing right now. And for the community guidelines and safety, of course, we have four you can say pillars. Okay, so we expect respect and kindness. We want everyone to treat everybody with dignity and to try to avoid any offensive or political topics in the discussions. And we also always ask before taking pictures or recording others. We want to create a safe space environment. Okay, so make sure you're comfortable. And last but not least, of course, you want everyone to encourage everyone to report any violations to the facilitators or any committee members if there are any. And how to stay connected? Well, we have a few social media that you can follow. We have Instagram at Britzone ID. That's our primary source of information. And then we also have Britzone English Community for usually for streaming our classes. And we also have TikTok. If you're on TikTok, you can follow us on Britzone ID. And last but not least, of course, our Discord, which is why, which is the thing that you're in right now. That's the Discord community server. And of course, we have quite a few partners. We have we're partnered with Perpustakaan Kemendikdasmen, and also if you want to sign up for the library membership, you can follow the Instagram. But I think currently they're doing a little bit of renovation or something, so they're temporarily closed for now. But yeah, if you want to sign up to be a member, feel free to follow them and try to look for some more information for the membership. And last but not least, if you want to be the speaker for our class in the future, either on Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday, or even Discord, feel free to contact us. Or you can also go with the QR curious there I think that one is for Tuesdays. But if you want to be the speaker for any other classes, feel free to contact any of the committee members. Okay, so that's the brief introduction to Britzone. Let me stop sharing. Hang on. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of reading, okay, as the title says, read and get inspired. So what we're going to read today is a book called Chicken Soup for the Soul. Okay, let me share my screen again. Okay, the book that we're going to be reading today is Chicken Soup for the Soul. Before we do read, does anyone or has anyone ever read the book? Like any of the Chicken Soup for the Soul books? There are so many. This is one of them. Okay, 101 stories to open the heart and rekindle the spirit. But has anyone ever read any of the books? No, I haven't. Yes. Okay. Which one have you read? Or which ones? If you read multiple.
I think I read the one with the comic one, you know, the one with illustrator. I cannot remember the name, but it
Oh, yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
like a sister and both of them are in illustration. Yeah.
Ah, okay, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, Kak Yuga doesn't remember. That's all right. So basically, Chicken Soup for the Soul is a book that compiles a lot of stories. Well, some of them are stories. For this one, there are stories. There are also poems. Okay, so yeah. Without further ado, let's begin. Okay, before we begin, we're going to divide you guys into into three groups. Okay, so in the main room will be with me, and then we also have the breakout room one, so to say, that will be led by Kak Zara, and the second breakout room will be led by Kak Mahesa. All right. Who's going to divide the members? Okay. I think we need more people in the room too.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see here. Who do we have in this room? We have is it Kaura? Should I call you Aura?
Yeah, Kak.
Okay. Okay, let's do a little mic test, mic check to Kak Yusuf.
Yeah. Hello. Hello.
Okay, hello. Should I call you Yusuf?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, sure. And then we have Kak Mila, Kak Riat, and Kak Tata. Okay, right. So without further ado, let's jump right in. I'm going to scroll. So the way this session works is we're going to read one title at a time. And after reading, we're going to try to see what is being inferred, or what do you think the moral of the writing or the story is. Okay, so the stories are actually pretty short. So let me just show you something real quick. Hang on. So the story is like this, it's only like one page each. Some would have 2 pages, but it's like very short stories, and some are just poems instead of stories. So let's start with the first story. Um, let's see. Maybe I just have like one person to read the entire thing. Or maybe we can go with if it's per paragraph, it's going to be a little bit too short. So I guess okay, I will need one person to read this part, and then one person to read this part, and one person to read this part. Okay, so we will divide this passage into 3 people. So who would like to volunteer? Anyone wants to volunteer?
Can I do that, Kak?
Yeah, sure. You want to go with the first part?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, we have Kak Aura with the first part, and then Kak Mila, do you want to do the second part? From a college professor until businessman. And then the third part, who wants to do the third part? Kak Joseph, do you want to do the third part?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, sure. All right, Kak Aura, you can go ahead and start. You can go with or from the title.
Uh, love the one creative force. Spread love everywhere you go. First of all, in your own house. Give love to your children, to your wife or husband, to a next door neighbor. Let no one ever come to you without living better and happier. Be the living expression of God's kindness. Kindness in your face, kindness in your eyes, kindness in your smile, kindness in your warm greeting. Mother Teresa.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Next up, we have Camila.
A college professor had his sociology class go into the Baltimore slums to get histories of 200 young boys. They were asked to write an evaluation of each boy's future. In every case that students wrote, he hasn't got a chance. 25 years later, another sociology professor came across the earlier study. He had his students follow up on the project to see what had happened to these boys. With the expectations of 20 boys who had moved away or died, the students learned that 176 of the remaining 100 80 had achieved more than ordinary success as lawyers, doctors, and businessmen.
All right, excellent read. Thank you.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Kak Jusuf.
The professor was astounded and decided to pursue the matter further. Fortunately, all the men were in the area and he was able to ask each one, "How do you account for your success?" In each case, the reply came with feeling, "There was a teacher." The teacher was still alive, so he sought her out and asked the old but still alert lady what magic formula she had used to pull these boys out of the slums into successful achievement. The teacher's eyes sparkled and her lips broke into a gentle smile. "It's really very simple," she said. "I loved those boys."
Okay, so this story is by Eric Butterworth. So, what do you think this short story is about? Oh, you can read it again on your own. So, what do you think this short story is about? This is an open discussion. You can voice your opinion. What do you think this story is all about?
Yeah, I think it is about how love can change someone else's life.
Mhm. Do you believe in that? So you
Yeah,
believe
of
that
course.
love can change someone's life. Have you ever
Yeah,
experienced such thing?
yeah. I experienced similar things.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Would you mind sharing your experience if it's not too personal, of course?
I think love comes in different shape, eh?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it can be
And
romantic. It can also be non-romantic, right?
yeah. And the one that I experienced is, I think, similar with this story. It is a love that comes from my teacher. At that time, I was already surrendered my education. I felt that I don't have any chance anymore to finish my education. But one of my professor still believed that I still have a chance. You can make it. You can do it. And I felt that this acceptance give me some kind of energy. And at the end, I can finish my university degree. I'm really grateful for that professor.
That's lovely. That's actually pretty lovely. You got encouraged by your teacher to pass um your was it for bachelor degree? Like for
Yes, yes,
undergraduate program? Yeah,
yes,
okay, I
for
see.
my bachelor degree.
Yeah. I had not exactly the same, but I had a similar situation where I was very low motivated in college. But then one of the lecturers actually pushed me to continue with my research. And so, after being in quote unquote the slum for like a year, I finally mustered the courage to get back to do my research and finish my study. So, yeah, I believe that teachers' power of love is like or can be powerful um if the other person also have the internal push to do something about their life too. Like it's a two-way street, you cannot expect someone to push you to do something when you don't even want to do it yourself. Okay, so anyway, thank you for the short discussion. Let's move on to the second story. Oh, by the way, before we move on, do you have or does anyone have any words that you don't understand from this passage? Or maybe I can zoom in so you can see it better. If no one has any difficult words to discuss, we can move on to the next story. And I want to be honest with you guys, like I'm a teacher. So this short story is pretty inspiring to me to see how powerful a teacher, like how much power a teacher can have over their students. No worries. What should I call you, by the way? I don't want to call you pisang goreng. That makes me hungry. Nah, nah. All right. Okay. Interesting. So let's move on. Okay, let's move on to the second story. So the second story is called All I Remember. Um, so I'm going to divide this into a couple of parts. So the first part is this one. The second part is my father until a child. Third part is this one. The fourth part is this one. Fifth part is this one. Okay, so we need 5 volunteers. We need 5 volunteers. So I'm going to pick Kak Nana, you can do the first part. And then Kak Reza, you can do the second part. Kak Riyad, you can do the third part. Okay, I'm going to leave the fourth and fifth up for volunteerism. I mean, up for volunteer. So if anyone wants to volunteer to read the fourth and fifth part, let me know. But first, let's just go with the first to third part. Okay, Kanana, you can start reading from when my father spoke to me until from the other side.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry for the noises.
No, it's okay.
Hold
All
on.
good.
Okay.
Take it easy.
Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Then I'll start.
Mhm.
All I remember. When my father spoke to me, he always began the conversation with, "Have I told you yet today how much I adore you?" The expressions of love was reciprocated, and in his later years, as his life began to visibly ebb, we grew even closer, if that were possible. At 82, he was ready to die, and I was ready to let him go so that his suffering would end. We laughed and cried and held hands and told each other of our love and agreed that it was time. I said, "Dad, after you've gone, I want a sign from you that you are fine." He laughed at the absurdity of that. Dad didn't believe in reincarnation. I wasn't positive I did either. But I had many experiences that convinced me I could get some signal from the other side.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. This word is reciprocated. This word is reciprocated. I know it's a bit difficult, but yeah, you can try it anyway. Reciprocated. Reciprocated. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. And next up we have Careza. You can read from here until here.
Okay, so from my father to lost child, right?
Yeah, my
Uh,
father to last child.
my father and I was so deeply connected. Connected, and I feel his heart attack in my chest at the moment he died. Later, I mourned that the hospital in the Israel wisdom had not let me hold his hand as he had slipped away. Uh, day after day, I prayed to hear from him, but nothing happened. Night after night, I asked for a dream before I sleep, and yet for long months passed, and I heard and felt nothing but grief at him loss. Mother had died 5 years before Alzheimer's, and I thought I, I had ground that I had ground daughters of my own, and I feel like a lost child.
Okay, excellent. So this word is past. Past. Okay, very good. Thank you, Kaliza. Next up we have Kaliat, so you can read this part.
Okay, thank you, Kak. One day, while I was lying on a massage table in a dark, quiet room, waiting for my appointment, a wave of longing for my father swept over me. I began to wonder if I had been too demanding in asking for a sign from him. I noticed that my mind was a hyperacute state. I experienced an unfamiliar clarity in which I could have added long columns of figures in my head. I checked to make sure I was awake and not dreaming, and I saw that I was as far removed from a dreamy state as one could possibly be. Each thought I had was like a drop water disturbing a still pond, and I marveled the peacefulness of each passing moment. Then I thought, I've been trying to control the message from the other side. I will stop that now.
Okay, excellent read. Thank you, Kaliat. Next one is from here until here. So who would like to read this part? Any volunteers?
Hello, sir.
Okay, go ahead, Camila.
Suddenly, my mother said,
Oh, I think we lost your voice.
yes,
Okay, yeah, we can hear you now. You can continue.
oh, yes, sorry. Her humanity and 50 pounds. Her magnificent silver hair crowned her sweet face. She was so real and so close. I felt I could reach out and touch her. She looked as she had a dozen years ago before the walking away had begun. I even smelled the fragrance of joy, her favorite perfume. She seemed to be waiting on Gideon's street. I wondered how it could happen that I was thinking of my father and my mother afterwards, and I felt a little guilty that I had not asked for her as well. I said, "Oh, mother, I'm so sorry that you had to suffer with that horrible disease."
Okay, great reading. Thank you, Camila. And last but not least, who would like to read this part? It's up for grabs. If anyone would like to read it, if not, I'll pick on someone. Okay. If no one wants to volunteer, I'll pick maybe because Kaliat only read one paragraph. Kaliat, you can read this part.
Okay, thank you, Kak. Also, she tipped her head slightly to one side as though I acknowledged what I had said about her suffering. Then she smiled, a beautiful smile, and I said, very recently, but all I remember is love. And she disappeared. I began to shiver in a room suddenly gone cold, and I know in my bones that the love we give and receive is all matters and all that is. Remember, suffering disappears, love remains. Her words are the most important I have ever heard, and the moment is forever engraved on my heart. I have not yet seen or heard from my father, but I have no doubt that someday, when I least expect it, he will appear and say, "Have I told you yet today that I love you?"
Oh, okay. So this word is least. Yeah, when I least
Always.
expected, yes, he will appear and
Okay.
say, "Have I told you yet that? Have I told you yet today that I love you?" Okay. So great read, everyone. So I'm going to go back to the first page before we go on to the discussion, and you can tell me if there are any words that you don't understand from the passage. So I'm going to go from here. You can skim through the passage and let me know if you find any difficult words. Ebb. Okay. Anything else other than ebb? I'm I feel like you shouldn't call me teacher. I feel like I'm at work again. But okay, yeah, app is one. Anything else?
Kak,
Yes.
this part, as his life began to visibly ebb, we grew
Okay.
even closer.
Okay. That's the same one.
Yes.
Okay. So app as well. Okay. Anything else?
Maybe reciprocated.
Reciprocated. Okay. Anything else? Okay. I'll scroll a little bit to the few paragraphs.
Maybe hyperacute state.
Okay. Hyperacute state. I feel like that's more the psychology.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, that's it. Okay, if that is it, let's go for reciprocated. So we're going to try to define this by context, okay, not by textbook definition. So the expression of love was reciprocated, and in his later years, as his life began to visibly ebb, we grew even closer, if that were possible. So reciprocated, it basically means returned. Okay. Or yeah, you can say returned. So if you love someone and they love you back, the love is reciprocated. If let's say you show kindness to someone and then a few days later they remember you and they show you kindness, your kindness is appreciated and reciprocated. Okay, so reciprocated means to be returned. An example of this is so for instance, it doesn't have to be something materialistic, of course. It can be something as simple as let's say uh mm, let's say your friend is having a birthday party but no one came. So you showed up to their birthday party, right? And you had fun with the friend and so on and so forth. And then let's say 2 weeks later, something happened to you. Maybe you got into like a minor accident or something. And then your friend that you showed up in their birthday, they showed some kind of kindness by checking in on you or maybe visit you at the hospital. Okay, so your kindness is reciprocated. And then for ebb, it says here, as his life began to visibly ebb, we grew even closer if that were possible. And then it says, at 82, he was ready to die, and I was ready to let him go so that his suffering would end. So from this context, what do you think ebb means? Tinda tidak berbalas. Yes, given back. Does reciprocate can reciprocate be used for other contexts other than good feelings? Um Usually it's for emotional things. Like reciprocated is usually used for emotional context. That's a good question actually, because I have never heard anyone say, "Oh, I bought my mom something and she bought me something and so uh my money is reciprocated." My spending is reciprocated. Um, so usually reciprocated is used for emotional context. uh, I mean, not always. It can be for negative, but it's most of the time it's for positive emotions. Like for instance, if someone says, "Oh, I don't really like that guy," like you don't say, "Oh yeah, the hate is reciprocated." I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that. Like, if anything, they would just, "Oh yeah, the feelings are mutual." You know. Okay, that's a good one though. So, but let's move on to ebb. So, what do you think this ebb means from this context? As his life began to visibly ebb, going away, or the advanced word would be deteriorate. I can't even pronounce that. Deteriorated. Okay, so deteriorated or rates, I guess. So that means to visibly worsen. He's getting old, of course. his health is getting worse. I mean, not getting worse in a bad light. It can be, uh, you're more prone to illnesses as you grow older, and so on and so forth. So, yes, that's what ebb means. Okay. The next one, I believe, was this one. Hyperacute state. So it says, I noticed that my mind was in a hyperacute state. I experienced an unfamiliar clarity in which I could have added long columns of figures in my head. So hyperacute state basically means a sudden intense feeling. Like a sudden intense feeling. So that's what that is. I'm just trying to explain this in simple words. Yes, I can relate to that. My financial state is ebbing away. It's thinning out. Help. The payday is still a few days away. Okay. So anyway, that was good, guys. Let's go to this part, okay? Again, you can read and then let me know if there are any words that you don't understand from this part. Overthinking. I mean, overthinking is. I guess overthinking is like when you're anxious about something. I mean, that's what most people would say, right? When you're extremely anxious about something, you're overthinking it. But for hyperacute state, it's more like a sun intense feeling because here it says, oh, hold on, where was it? Here it says, I began to wonder if I had been too demanding in asking for a sign from him. So, like, this person misses her dad so much, or his dad so much, that her or his mind is suddenly feeling like some sort of intense longing feeling for their parents. This economy is giving everyone's finance in financial crisis. Anyways, back to this page. Again, if you have any words that you don't understand, let me know. You can do it in the chat box, or you can just open your mic and let me know. Okay. Yes, deep emotional distress. Probably not in a very severe and might be dying soon kind of way. No, that would be a little bit too extreme. Okay. Anyone has any difficult words from this part? Okay, everyone seems to be understanding of everything that they read. That's good. So, if there are no difficult words, I have a question. What's this story about? What's the story about? Grieving and acceptance. I would say grieving and longing. But yeah, And acceptance as well at the end. Hmm. Oh, you sound like you're speaking from experience, Kak Silmi. Are you longing for someone? Who are you longing for, Kak Silmi? Come to my arms. We'll hug. Oh, okay. I mean, who doesn't want a $10 billion? That's a question, right? I think that's everyone. That's everyone's dreams. Okay. Anyway, let's move on then. We have the third story called Heart Song. This is not fight song. This is heart song. So again, I'm going to divide this into parts. This is the first part, and then we have the second part, the third part. Third part is until here. Okay. And last one. So 4 people. I need 4 people. Um, I'm going to open the first and second part for any volunteers. So who would like to volunteer reading?
I want to be volunteer the first part.
Yes. Okay, go
Uh,
ahead.
wait, Kak. But which part did I have to read?
Oh, yes. From here until here.
Ah, okay.
Go ahead.
Heart song. Once upon a time, there was a great man who married the woman of his dreams. With their love, they created a little girl. She was a bright and cheerful little girl, and the great man loved her very much. When she was very little, he would pick her up on a tune and dance with her around the room, and he would tell her, "I love you, little girl." When the little
Uh-huh.
girl was growing up, the great man would, would hug her and tell her, "I love you, little girl." The little girl would put and say, "I'm not a little girl anymore." Then the man would laugh and say, "But to me, you will always be my little girl." Wait, Kak,
Okay.
uh,
Mhm.
am I read this part? Uh,
Yeah, you got it right. You got it right from here until here.
oh,
That's correct.
okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, okay, Kak.
Lovely reading. And who's next? Who wants to go next? Or maybe I can ask Kaora. Kaora, do you want to pick someone to read the next part? Who would you like to pick to read the next part?
Um, uh, Milatria.
Okay, Camila again. Go ahead, Camila.
Okay. The little girl who was not little anymore left home and went into the world. As she learned more about herself, she learned more about the man. She saw that he truly was good and strong. For now, she recognized his strength. One of his strengths was his ability to express his love to his family. It didn't matter where she went in the world, the man would hold her and say, "I love you, little girl." The day came when the little was not little anymore. He saved a palm thought. The great man was damaged. He had a stroke. He was passive. They explained it to the girl. He couldn't talk anymore, and they weren't sure that he could understand the words spoken to him. He could no longer smile, laugh, walk, hug, dance, or tell the little girl who was not little anymore that he loved her. Enough.
Okay. Yep. Thank you so much. Can you pick someone to read the next part?
Oh, uh, maybe Ka, Yusuf.
Okay. Joseph, you can try reading this part until okay.
And so she went to the side of the great man. When she walked into the room and saw him, he looked small and not strong at all. He looked at her and tried to speak, but he could not. The little girl did the only thing she could do. She climbed up on the bed next to the great man. Tears ran from both of their eyes, and she threw her arms around the useless shoulder of her father, her head on his chest. She thought of many things. She remembered the wonderful times together and how she had always felt protected and cherished by the great man. She felt grief for the loss she was to endure, the words of love that had comforted her.
Comforted her. Okay, good. You can pick the next person to read the last part.
Maybe Kak Pisang goreng, Haji Ana.
Go, Kanana. All right, Kanana, you can read. Because you're pisang goreng, you're delicious. That's right.
Sorry,
Just
I
read.
was deliberately avoiding this part, so can I not?
All right. I'm just going to. Do you want to pick someone else then, Kanana?
Is there anyone else want to volunteer to say I love you to all of us here?
It's just a reading. You're not going to ask anyone out. Don't worry.
Fine, fine, okay. Okay, okay. Uh, and then she heard from within the man the beat of his heart, the heart where the music and the words had always lived. The heart beats on, steadily, unconcerned about the damage to the rest of the body. And while she rests there, the magic happened. She heard what she needed to hear. His heart beat out the words that his mouth could no longer say. I love you, I love you, I love you, little girl, little girl, little girl. And she was comforted.
I love you too. All right. So
I love you, all the little girls. Only the girls. Because the one who gave my name is not a girl.
All right. Excellent read, everyone. So let's go back here again. Let me know if you find any difficult words or words you don't understand. This story is actually kind of sad. I'm going to scroll bit by bit. Okay. You can skim through the passage and let me know if you find any difficult words or the word that you don't understand. Maybe not you know everything, but I understand all the words. That would be better. Yes. Aphasic basically is affected by aphasia. Is that how you say it? So aphasia is basically a disease where there is like a loss or impairment to use or comprehend words. I don't know if there's an Indonesian word for it, but yeah, it's a disease where where there's like a loss or impairment of understanding words or using words. Ah, okay. Good to know. I'm not a med student, so I wouldn't know. Okay. Are you a med student, Kanana? Okay. That's fair enough. Okay. If there are no difficult words, then what do you think of this story?
Um, uh, maybe about the father that loved his daughter so much.
Yeah. But how do you feel about the story, Kaola?
Um,
I feel like I need some tissues after this.
uh, I think it feels like there are it feels too much because there are a lot of I love you, I love you, I love you. But
Well, the father is aphasic. He can't. So
I
like
mean,
he's trying so
uh,
hard to get the words out.
I don't
But
know, but it was for me.
I feel like the story is. Sorry, go on. Go
But
on.
I know that what's the point. But
Well, I guess the father just wants to, express love even though he's got aphasia.
yeah,
Um, and so since he can't really get the words out of his mouth, I suppose this story is a little bit dramatized. The way it says his heart beat out the words that his mouth could no longer say. It's definitely dramatized, but um this is a pretty touching story, in my opinion. Actually, I like this one. Maybe I have dad issues. Anyways, um, let's go to the next story. The next story is pretty short, so I'm just going to make this into two parts. This is the first part, and this is the second part. So for the first part, I want to hear from people who have not read much. So can I hear from Kak Reza? So Kak Reza, would you like to read this part?
Okay. Uh, True love. Moses Mendelssohn, the grandfather of the well-known German composer, was far from being handsome. Along with a rather short stature, he
Mm-hmm.
had grown grotesque hunchback. One day he visited a merchant in Hamburg who has a lovely daughter named Frumti. Moses fell hopelessly in love with her, but Frumti was repulsively by his misshapen appearance. When it's when it come when it come time when it come time for him to leave, Moses gathered his courage and climbed the stair to her. room to take one opportunity to speak with her. She was a vision of heavenly beauty, but caused him deeply saddened by her refusal to look at him. After several attempts at a conversation, Moses shyly asked, "Do you believe marriage are made in heaven?" Uh,
Okay, very good. And the next part, can I hear from Katao? Would you like to read this part, Katao?
Okay, yes, she answered, still looking at the floor. And do you? Yes, I do, he replied. You see, in heaven, at the birth of each boy, the Lord announced which girl we will marry. When I was born, my future bride was pointed out to me. Then the Lord added, "But your wife will be humpbacked." Right then and there I called out, "Oh Lord, a humpbacked woman would be a tragedy. Please, Lord, give me the hump and let her be beautiful." Then Francie looked up into his eye and was stirred by some deep memory. She reached out and gave Mendelssohn her hand and later became his devoted wife.
Okay, very good. Devoted wife. Okay, so are there any words that you guys don't understand from this one? No? All good? Okay. So does anyone know what humpbacked is? What is humpbacked? Yeah. I guess the Indonesian word would be bungkuk. Okay, so this story is a little bit Christiany. Okay. Which is cool. I like it. Um but if there are no difficult words that you guys don't understand, we can move on. Mhm. Okay. If you're unhandsome, be funny. You know what? Actually, being funny is like an absolute charm of its own. Well, I don't know about you guys, but from my experience, handsome men have no personality. Like literally no personality. Their personality is gym, working out, social media presence. That's their personality. So, I mean, I'm not saying that, all handsome men are the same, obviously not. But the ones that I'm meeting, and something that I noticed, like there's a pattern of handsome men being so gym obsessed. Like all they care about is just going to the gym, like go with the bros and so on. Um, and then like they care so much about looking good on social media. Yeah. There are some, of course, a handful men who are actually good people who have good personality and so on. But most of the time, it's like their life revolves around gym. Yeah, it's we're talking about real life experience, you know. I believe it's the same for like a lot of women too, like a lot of good looking. Well, not saying that all are the same, but there are a lot of good looking women who are so obsessed with their social media presence. You know, they like to take pictures, post on social media, get a lot of likes. Um, and then their life revolves around, you know, going to the beauty clinic and so on and so forth. There are a lot of that, obviously. I mean, yeah. I'm not judging people who go to the gym, obviously, no. Right? That's a good thing, but they make their gym routine a personality. That's the thing. Okay, anyways, I'm not going to turn this into a political discussion. Let's move on. Okay, we have the hugging judge. Oh, this sounds interesting. Oh, okay, we have three pages. So let's start with the first part here. And then the second part. Second part here. And then the third part around here. Fourth part around here. Fifth part maybe here. Okay, we'll manage. Okay, let's go with the first part first. Let's go with the first part first. Who wants to volunteer to read the first part? Any takers?
I will come.
Yes, go ahead.
The hugging judge. Don't bug me, hug me. Lee Shapiro is a retired judge. He is also one of the most genuinely loving people we know. At one point in his career, Lee realized that love is the greatest power there is. As a result, Lee became a hugger. He began offering everybody a hug. His colleagues dubbed him the hugging judge, as opposed to the hanging judge, we suppose. The bumper sticker on his car reads, "Don't bug me, hug me." About 6 years ago, Lee created what he calls his hugger kit. On the outside it reads, "A heart for a hug." The the inside contains 30 little red embroidered hearts with sticums on the back. Lee will take out his hugger kit, go around to people and offer them a little red heart in exchange for a hug.
Ooh, okay, nice. Thank you. Can you pick someone to read the next part?
Maybe Reza?
Okay, Kak Reza, you can read the next part.
Okay. Uh, he has become well known for this that he often invited to keynote conference and conversation, where he shared his message of unconditional love. At his conference in San Francisco, the local news media challenged him by saying, "It is easy to give out a hug here in conference to people who self-selected to be here, but this would never work in the real world." They, they challenged the hug on the street of San Francisco. I follow a television crew from the local news station. Lee went out on onto the street. First, he approached a woman walking by. "Hi, I'm Lee Sopiro, the hug, the hugging judge. I'm giving out this hurt in exchange for a hug. Sure, she replied. Too easy. Challenged the local commentator. Lee looked around. He saw a maid who was being given a hard time by the owner of the BMW whom she was giving a ticket. He matched up to her, the crew in tow, and said, "You look like you could use a hug. I'm the hugging judge, and I'm offering you one." She accepted. Okay.
Okay, good. Thank you, Kareza. Can you pick someone to read the next part? Who do you want to pick to read the next part, Kareza?
Eh, Kak siapa ya? Wardle apa sih? Kak Wardle apa ya?
Yeah, just pick someone. Who?
Eh, Wardle apa tuh namanya? Kak Yusuf sorry.
Oh, Kak Yusuf.
Ini
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, Kak Yusuf, go ahead.
Okay. The television commentator threw down one final challenge. Look, here come a bus. San Francisco bus drivers are the toughest, crappiest, meanest people in the whole town. Let's see you get him to hug you. Lee took the challenge. As the bus pulled up to the curb, Lee said, "Hi, I'm Lee Safiro, the hugging judge. This has got to be one of the most stressful jobs in the whole world. I'm offering hug to people today to lighten the load a little. Would you like one?" The 6'2" 230 pounds bus driver got out of his seat, stepped down, and said, "Why not?"
Okay, thank you. Can you pick someone to read the next part?
Maybe Kak Aura?
Okay, go ahead, Kaura.
Uh, Mika.
Yes.
Oh, Lee hugged him, gave him a heart, and waved goodbye as the bus pulled out. The TV crew was speechless. Finally, the commentator said, "I have to admit, I'm very impressed." One day, Lee's friend Nancy Johnston showed up on his doorstep. Nancy is a professional clown, and she was wearing her clown costume, makeup and all. "Lee, grab a bunch of your hugger kids and let's go out to the home for the disabled." When they arrive at the home, they start giving out balloon hearts and hugs to the patients. Lee was uncomfortable. He had never before hugged people who were terminally ill, severely retarded, or quadriplegic. It was definitely a stretch, but after a while, it became easier with Nancy and Lee acquiring an encourage of doctors, nurses, and orderlies who followed them from work to work.
Okay, orderlies from who followed them from word to word. Good, thank you for reading that. Who would you like to read the next part, Kaura?
Mm, um,
Well, we have
maybe
got Kak Tawa or Kak Nana. Which one?
maybe Kanana.
Okay, Kak Nana. Go ahead, Kak Nana.
Which part this?
This part, the highlighted
Okay.
part.
Okay. How can you please highlight it?
Okay, okay. Sorry.
It's easier for me to read. Okay,
Go
thank you.
ahead.
After several hours, they entered the last ward. These were 34 of the worst cases Lee had seen in his life. The feeling was so grim, it took his heart away. But out of their commitment to share their love and to make a difference, Nancy and Lee started working their way around the room, followed by the entourage of medical staff, all of whom by now had hearts on their collars and balloon hats on their heads. Finally, Lee came to the last person, Leonard. Leonard was wearing a big white bib, which he was drooling on. Lee looked at Leonard dribbling into his bib and said, "Let's go, Nancy. There is no way we can get through this person." Nancy replied, "Come on, Lee. He's a fellow human being too, isn't he?" Then she placed a funny balloon hat on his head. Lee took one of his little red hearts and placed it on Leonard's bib. He took a deep breath, leaned down, and gave Leonard a hug.
Okay, excellent. And last but not least, we have Kato. Go ahead, Kato. Oh, Kato, are you there? Oh, okay. I think she lost connection or something. Okay. Um, Kawada, do you want to read this part?
Okay, Kak.
Go ahead.
All of a sudden, Leonard began to squeal. Eh, eh. Some of the other patients in the room began to clang things together. Lee turned to the staff for some sort of explanation, only to find that every doctor, nurse, and orderly was crying. They asked the head nurse, "What's going on?" We will never forget what she said. "This is the first time in 23 years we've ever seen Leonard smile. How simple it is to make a difference in the lives of others."
In the
Jack
lives of others.
Canfield and Mark V. Hansen.
Yes. In the lives of others. Okay. So, the story is actually pretty good. So I'm going to go back to the first page. Let me know if you have any words that you don't understand from this part. I'm going to maybe zoom in. Okay, I'm going to scroll. Scroll again. Scroll again. Scroll again. Welcome back, guys. Just give me a second. Quadriplegic. Okay. Anything else? Okay, so quadriplegic is actually one of the medical terms again. I feel like I'm not qualified to talk about this, but quadriplegic is basically someone who is affected with partial or complete paralysis of both the arms and legs, especially as a result of spinal cord injury or disease in the region of the neck, according to Merriam-Webster dictionary. Yes. Well, for those who don't know what quadriplegia is, that's what that is. Okay. All right. Welcome back, everyone, from room 2 and room 3. How was your reading sesh with your facilitators? What stories did you read? Excellent. Oh, that's great to hear. Kazara, how was the session in your room?
It was great. Yeah, we read many of stories, and one of them is heart touching and also heartbreaking because the story did not end well.
Oh no, which ones?
Yeah,
Which ones did you read? Oh, sorry.
I think it's the one with the father who mentioned the little girl. Love, I love you, little
Ah.
girl. Yeah, this was one like, ah, no. Yeah.
In our group, we had like a little bit of a dilemma who wants to with the "I love you" part.
Oh.
We had a
I
little bit
see.
of debate who wants to with the "I love you" part. I wonder who started that debate. Anyways, okay, that's great to hear. How about Karasha? Kak Mahesa, how was the session
Yeah, we
in
read a
your
lot of
room?
stories. Uh-huh.
Which ones did you read? Like how
That's a
many
lot of
stories?
stories. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you guys had a great time. And I hope you learned some new words along the way. But since our time is limited, we have to say goodbye. But before we do, does anyone want to say anything? Perhaps the impression of today's session? And I'm actually surprised there are like so many of you coming tonight. It's actually wonderful.
I want to say about
Mm-hmm. Your voice
I
cut
want
off,
to say
cut.
about
Yeah.
this class.
Yes, go
I
ahead.
think this class for me it was really good.
Okay. I'm glad
Yeah.
you had fun.
I
Mm-hmm.
think tonight this class it was really good, and I think it also helped me a lot, and it also fun.
Yeah. Well, I thank you for coming here and participating in today's Sunday chit chat. Well, it's more like Sunday reading session than a chit chat. But yeah, I'm happy you had a good time. I had a great time having you here. So that
Yeah.
brings us to the end of our session today. I hope to see you guys next time. And yeah, just keep reading, that will help you adding your vocabulary, of course, in English, and, helps you with voicing your thoughts in the future. And don't forget to also fill the feedback form that Kat Silmi shared in the chat box. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great Sunday and have a great week. Have a great week ahead. back to work, back to school, back to our reality. So thank you guys. See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.